Hey guys, how's it going? It's Mapperdo here. I hope everyone's doing well. Today is day 36. It is pretty late, I know, but it is what it is. I'm still gonna get my pump in. Today is back and rear delts, and I did want to talk about something. So there was an individual. He did comment a few comments on my last back and rear delts day, so I figured, you know what, hey, since he made those comments, I figured I would just address them in the video the next time I do back and rear delts, which is today, and just discuss them. So, disclaimer, this individual did delete his comments, so I'm going to include screenshots of what he said. I did not include his name, just because, again, he did delete his comments, so there's no need to include his name. But this individual said these few things. Okay, I'm going to include the screenshot here. So he says, something that I would change. 1, keep your arm bent on all back exercises. So there is less work for biceps and more for back. 2, okay, so that's the first comment. So let's talk about it. So essentially, the first thing he says is keep your arm bent on all back exercises. Okay, so there's no specifics to this comment that he was referring to, as in no specific exercise. So let's just consider lat pull down for a second. Okay, when I do lat pull down, I bring the bar all the way down to my chin, and I do bend the arm. I do straighten the arm at the top, just so I can, stretch the lat group. Because as the literature states, and again, I don't know if he looks at the literature, but the literature states if you do get, a better stretch, if you stretch the whole muscle, it's going to work harder, especially when you sit at the top for a little bit. So that's what I try to do. I stretch the muscle, but then yes, I do use the lats to bring it down. So there is arm bending there. For the other one, I think he might be referring to the one where I swing the weight back. I do bend the elbow. I do flex the elbow there. So I don't really know. I don't understand why it would be for that. And what other back exercises do I do? Maybe rowing. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. When I do row, I do bend the arms at the end of the row, and I really try to squeeze at the end. But then, of course, I do straighten the arm out at the far end, well, at the eccentric portion of the movement, just so I do get the most out of the exercise. So his first point, I don't really know what he means. Keep my arm bent on all back exercises, so there is less work for the bicep. I'm not using the bicep for these exercises. I am bending the arm, but I'm bending the arm by utilizing the lats, and by stretching the lats. If I don't move my arms, then I'm not going to get the best stretch. And that's just part of the literature. All right, so his second point is don't assist with lower back. You can get injury, especially in any jerk type movement, and it's not needed. So for this one, I think he might be talking about like bent over rows, probably, something like that. Maybe lat pull down. Okay, so do I use my lower back? I do. You might ask why? And it's because, well, what day is it? It's back and rear delts. So I will assist with my lower back. I will. It's not bad to assist with your lower back. In fact, it's better to do exercises with assistance from the lower back than it is to actually target the low back. As we all know, the spine is made up of many types of joints. Well, not many types, but many joints. Each vertebrae is a joint, and there's cartilage between each vertebrae. Okay. So, knowing that, a lot of folk like to do exercises like back extension, where they extend the trunk, and that over time does break down the cartilage in your back. And so I know the back is meant to be moved, of course. It doesn't need to be stuck in one spot, but over time, yes, it will break down the cartilage. That's just wear and tear. That's something that we cannot deny. So when I do use, the lower back, when I'm doing, lat, pull down, bent over rows, stuff like that, it's actually better because I'm still using my back extensors. I'm not flexing the back or the spine. I'm extending, especially during lat pull down. You guys can see in the clip. And so I'm still using, I'm going to be working the full back. And I just prefer having isometric movement, as in stabilizing exercises with the low back, than doing, concentric, eccentric exercises such as back extension. It's just better for me. As well, we're going to approach a big bump here. So, unfortunately, sir or ma'am, whoever commented this, I'm not going to say their name, but I will be using my low back for assistance. And the only way I would injure my low back is if I was doing an insane amount of weight, and the odds of injuring my back are higher when I'm doing back extension exercises as opposed to exercises that focus the lats, essentially. And so the third point he makes is remove both of those rear delt exercises. You are using rear delts on every single back exercise. Okay. Again, I'm not sure if you watched the entire video, and it might just be the way I angle the camera that you might be thinking I am, but I'm not. I'm just going to tell you straight up, I'm not using the rear delts at all, actually, especially for like lat pull down and stuff like that. I'm not isolating the rear delts when I'm doing specific exercises for the lats. Maybe the rear delts will be supplementary, but they're not the focus at all. So it would be a lot worse to not include the rear delt exercises, meaning I'm not going to disclude them or exclude them. You know what I mean? I like doing rear delt. I like targeting the rear delts, and you'll notice a lot of bodybuilders target rear delts. So it's pretty hard to justify not working them directly. And as you know, rear delts, well, what's their main action? External rotation of the shoulder. And when I'm doing lats, I'm not externally rotating the shoulder. So I need to include rear delt exercises. So here's the second comment this person made, and I'm going to include a screenshot of it here as well as I read it. So he says, Maprido, and one more tip, objective of middle traps, bracket, mid back, and bracket, is to retract scapula. This means that technically mid back has nothing to do with arms, and arms are there to assist. So in any rowing exercise, try to focus retracting your shoulders back, instead working with arms/biceps. You can even isolate it by keeping arms straight and just moving shoulders back if want. So bracket, basically like shoulder shrugs, but just back instead. And bracket. Okay. So I do have a few things to say about this one as well. So yes, don't worry, sir. I know what the traps are used for. Again, you might want to look at some of my previous videos when I do describe sort of what my profession is. Because again, I do know my anatomy. And like I said, I'm in my master's of biomechanics and neuroscience right now. So, but yeah, I know. So they retract the scapula. Okay, that is true. So what you're trying to tell me, or what I'm kind of getting from this, is you're talking about the rowing. Okay. So if you look at any bodybuilder who rows, and if you presume that bodybuilders row without bending the arm, I'm sorry to tell you, sir, but you're losing a lot of gains if you don't bend the arm. I don't know how you do rows, but if you're doing rows without bending the arms, then you're not doing them right, unfortunately. Again, you can do them however you want, but they're not going to be as effective if you don't bend the arm at all. And so I think you think I'm using the bicep and the arm to pull the weight back. And while it may look like I do, especially when I'm exhausted and at the very end of my repetitions or at the end of a set, I am squeezing with the lats. So the reason that the arms are bending is because the lats are squeezing, and I'm trying to get that final, rip at the end as I've finally completed the stretch. And again, the only way I can really get that stretch, as you can tell when you look at other bodybuilders, and I'm not saying I'm a bodybuilder, but I am trying to build my body. But yeah, the best way to do it is by stretching the lats, working the majority of the latissimus dorsi group, right? And all of the deep extensor flexors in the back, because the lats aren't the only group that you're working in the back, right? Unfortunately, when it comes to your comment, I'm going to have to, I can't really use it. I can't really use your feedback because I would be losing gains. Again, it might just be the camera angle I have that makes it look like I'm using biceps. But you can tell that I am retracting the shoulders, and I am really isolating, well, the lats and the traps when I row. Or at least I thought you could. I mean, when I get the angle, it looks like it on my point of view anyway. But yeah, I'm just going to read over the comment again. Try to focus retracting your shoulders back instead of working with arms and biceps. Isolated by keeping arms straight. Yeah, listen, I can't keep the arms straight when I'm doing this exercise. I'm not going to lie to you. It's just not that effective. You don't get any stretch when you're doing that. You're not working the lats like at all. I mean, again, it's rowing, so you know all the best bodybuilders bend the arms when they row. It's just the best way to do it. But again, I really do appreciate you commenting. I really appreciate your thoughts. I don't know if you're going to watch this video because, well, I know you didn't subscribe, so you probably didn't watch like all my other videos and stuff like that. But again, if you end up subscribing and watching this, just know I really appreciate the thought and stuff. But based on the literature and based on my knowledge of lifting, through like the knowledge I've learned not only through academia but through practical use, you know, I used to personal train. You know, I worked in a physio clinic for a long time. Again, that information would be things that you learn by watching my previous videos, because I've talked about my past work experience and stuff. So yeah, just know that. And so again, I'm very thankful that you wanted to comment these things down. It's awesome because this gives me a good topic to talk about. And you know what? The fact that you did comment it means that other people might be thinking the same thing as you. So it's good that I'm able to answer and actually talk about your feedback in a video so other people can understand why I lift the way I do. So yeah, today is back and rear delts. And essentially the whole point of this is I'm not going to change the way I lift. I'm sorry to say, I'm not going to change the way I lift. It's working well for me. Listen, if the way I lift doesn't work well for you, then don't lift the way I lift. I lift by the book. And, you know, while I'm not perfect, you know, when am I a science-based lifter? I'm half and half. I ego lift and I base science-based lift. Why? Because the science lifting tells us that when you're fatigued, you should stop the reps. And that's not too effective, honestly. Like, if I'm fatiguing, I'm not just going to stop the exercise. I'm going to keep on pushing, and I'm going to keep doing as much as I can and get those last few reps in. And I mean, if you guys actually watch my videos like until the end, you know I do pose after each workout. I don't usually do a leg pose, but you can tell that my back is not like there's definition in there. It's not the flattest thing. I'm not saying it's the biggest thing, but you can't deny the definition. So, and I'm continuing to try to improve upon that. Yeah, so he says basically like shoulder shrugs, but use the back instead. But back, I mean, yeah, it's just not that effective. The reason why shrugs work is because the traps literally are just elevating the shoulders. Like the traps do a lot, but you'll notice when I do trap work, especially shrugs, I elevate the shoulder and then I retract the shoulder and then I bring the shoulder down. And then that's the movement. So I'm working the entire upper muscle belly of the trapezius, which again, you can't really deny that because it's exactly what I'm doing. So, and you can tell in the post pumps. Yeah, just know that. So again, I'm really thankful that you commented. But again, there's a reason why I can't really implement your feedback. But again, I'm not saying my way is the only way. But my way for me works the best. So I'm going to keep it that way. And I hope you're okay with that. But anyway, we are actually at the gym now, and it's, like I said, it's kind of late, so I'm surprised it's actually kind of busy. There's a bunch of cars here and stuff. I am pretty shocked at that, to be honest. All right, let's just park here and let's just talk about our pregame. Okay, so let's talk about the exercises. We're gonna basically do the exact same thing we did last day. I know people. Well, yeah, honestly, I'm gonna do the exact same thing I've already been doing. Lat pull down, row, rear delt fly, bent over rear delt flies. Yeah, assisting with the low back on bent over rear delt flies, you kind of have to. Well, you have to use the low back for bent over rear delt flies with the dumbbells, or else you're just gonna fall forward, or you're using your legs, and I just want to work my back. It's back and rear delt days, so of course I'm going to go to failure. I'm going to work the muscle fibers down as much as they possibly can be broken down. I want them to fill up with lactic acid, and I want the muscle fiber to break so it can repair and grow and heal stronger, right? That's how the process of muscle synthesis, you guys, I don't know if you guys know, but it's very complex, and it takes a long time for muscle to grow. But muscle can repair faster than growing. All right. So honestly, this clip is so long. So if you did watch up until this point, I appreciate you all. I do have my shake for the day. This is obviously not the usual introduction I have for my clips for the day, but I really felt the need to talk about those comments because just in case other people have the same idea or are thinking about the same feedback, I just think it's very important that I talk about it and answer your questions. So. But okay, guys, I have my protein shake. It's gym time. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to get a great pump in. So I hope you all are getting your pumps in today as well. And I hope you're all doing well. You are all in my prayers. I'm truly thankful for every single one of you guys. I have more to say after this clip. But I don't even know if I can. I'm just going to say it quick because this video I know is going to be super long already. Thank you all for the support on the previous back and rear delt day. I've never had a video that's had over 200 views. The watch time hours is nuts. The click-through rate from the impressions is crazy. That video is my best. Well, I didn't even think it was my best video ever, but I thought it was a good video. But you guys are absolutely killing it with the support. It's just one video on my channel is doing so well, and I'm really thankful that you are all, caring enough to watch it. Even if you watch a minute, 2 minutes of it, I'm still super thankful because any bit of support means a lot to me, and hopefully we can continue to have more videos that bring in more of you guys. And again, if you enjoy the content, if you enjoy the lifts, if you want to see me actually achieve my goals, if you want to achieve your goals as well, let's do it together. I'm a big advocate for building a great community. We have a great community already, and it can only get better. So come on in, join in, subscribe, and we'll reach our new milestone soon. And sorry, not soon, but soon. And then once we do reach that 30 subscriber special or milestone, I will be doing some awesome donations again. And if you guys support donating to people in need, if you support reaching your goals, let's do it together. So yeah, please like the video, donate, and you don't have to donate, but just subscribe. That'd be ideal. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I have to say in the pregame, and I'm just gonna catch you all in the postgame. Yo guys, it's Mapperdo again. How are you all doing? I hope you enjoyed those clips from the pumpy. I know I enjoyed pumping. I will say that. As always, it felt fantastic. You know, I mean, hopefully you guys agree with me this time around, but I was squeezing the lats. I promise I'm not using my arms. When I focus on an exercise, so if I'm doing a back exercise, it's going to be using my back, you know what I mean? I'm going to use as many muscles as I can. Well, that's not necessarily true. I want to use as much of the group as I can. So that's what I did. And I felt great. And you can probably notice in the clip I took after... Whoa, okay. I'm so fogged up. I'm actually fogged up very much right now. I don't know why. Hold on. Yeah, okay, guys. So, still fogged, but whatever. I think I can manage. Yeah, I can manage. So, yeah, I crunched my back. There's really not much else to say about it. I'm not going to have the post-game clip too long because I discussed those comments very extensively. Like, honestly, like, I think I talked about them way too much. I'm probably going to edit some of that out. I'm doing what's working best for me. You guys can... I mean, if you've been following since day one, you know I have made progress in every area of my body. It's without a doubt I have. Like, clearly I have. So again, if you haven't been following since day one, just go check out day one. Well, I think, no, not day one. Check out day 3. But it's day 3 or 4 or 5. I know day 5 for sure. I have gym clips. But yeah, I honestly, it's within the first 10 days where I started taking clips of what I do at the gym. And I've had the same split since I started this series. So just go look at the first clip I made of like back and rear delts, because that is honestly what's gonna show you that I've made progress. You know, guys, you're all in my prayers. I hope you're all going through good times. You know, if you're going through some bad times, just remember, bad times do not last forever. They will shift. God helps those who help themselves. So make sure you're doing stuff like working out, you know, maybe taking a course online, doing something to improve your life. That way you can get those bad times out of there as fast as possible. We all have to deal with the bad times, but we can always do something about it to make it a bit better. You know, 1% per day, you know what I'm saying? But thank you guys so much for watching this. Oh, also, my weigh-in, I'm going to include a photo of my weigh-in here, but honestly, it's so low. I told you guys from the conference, I knew I was in a deficit. You know, the food there was terrible. It was honestly terrible. That's like the one thing I have to complain about the conference is they barely gave us any food, and what they did give was so bad. So just keep that in mind. That's why I've lost like 4.5 pounds I've lost. Well, let's just say 4 pounds, because I think my maximum was 165, but before the conference I was 164.4, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, let's just say I lost 4 pounds even though I think today I weighed 160.3 or something, 4.1, whatever. You guys know what I mean. It's the same thing. It's not, but it's close enough. So yeah, I'm gonna have to big rebound from that. I guarantee you I won't be at 165 by the end of this week. I just don't see it happening. Yeah, I really don't. So anyway, hopefully we can rebound fast, but you know, it's lost. Well, we can't just reverse it, so it is what it is. But anyway, guys, again, thank you all for watching. And again, if you like, if the guy that did make those comments ends up watching this, please do not think I'm trying to put you on blast, because I'm really not. The only reason I wanted to talk about those comments is for a few reasons. The main one being other people might be thinking the same thing that you're thinking, so I might as well just talk about it in a video. The second thing is I usually talk about random stuff in my videos, except you know what? I found your comments very intriguing, and I thought it would be a great topic to discuss. It was something actually constructive and something actually good to talk about. So instead of talking about random stuff, I felt as though your comments are more valuable to discuss than whatever random things I'm thinking. And the third reason being, I just want to explain to everyone that I want to hear your feedback. I want you guys to talk to me. You know, I want to hear whatever you guys have to say. Just say whatever. I love hearing from you. But that's pretty much going to wrap it up, guys. So once again, thank you to everyone who has supported the channel so far, and as much as you guys have. I truly, truly, truly appreciate every single one of you. Honestly, I really do, and I hope you guys know that. I really hope you guys do. I mean, I make it pretty clear, so I wouldn't know, well, it wouldn't make sense for you not to understand that by now. But anyway, guys, as always, I hope you all take care.